Right, so you've got this whole piece of writing, and as I said, what I'd like you to do is to summarise each paragraph and think about it. And so here, if you've given yourself some time to do that, is what I did with it. I reduced it from 315 words to 124 words. Paul Coleman, who had hardly any money, went on a metal detecting trip. On the trip, he found 5,000 Anglo-Saxon silver coins which date back to the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Paul will share the money with the farmer who owns the land and hopes to buy a new house. Paul was delighted to find first one, then rows of coins. He now has enough money for the rest of his life. Paul was one of 100 people searching on farmland in Buckinghamshire. 5,251 coins were in a lead box 2 feet underground and were worth £250 each, making the total value 1.3 million. The coins were valued by the British Museum and will soon be for sale, making Paul financially secure. So I've reduced it by nearly a third, but I could even reduce it more there, but I did this just to give an idea of it. So you've got all the basic information there. You could take some more out, but you've reduced it. So that's one example. Another one, you're also in the exam likely to get a question which gives you some summaries of paragraphs and asks you to put them in the correct order. So I'm going to show you an example of that now from a story about Mount Etna, the volcano in Italy. So the volcano's first recorded eruption was in 1500 BC, and it is believed to have erupted about 200 times since. One of the mountain's most dramatic eruptions lasted 4 months from March to July of 1669. That eruption caused great damage to surrounding areas, submerging a dozen villages in western Catania, including the village of Nicolosi, which is currently under threat by lava from the latest eruption. But Etna's eruptive behaviour has changed over the past 400 years. For nearly a century following the 1669 eruption, Etna's output is believed to have been very low. A flank eruption in 1755, however, brought about several years of volcanic activity, including overflow of lava. A huge eruption in 1865 was among the largest since 1669. A few weeks after the end of that eruption, a devastating earthquake, measuring about 4.7 on the Richter scale in the area, killed more than 70 people near the village of Macchia. Okay, so you've got those paragraphs with information on Mount Etna and its eruption. And what's happened here is I've labelled all these different paragraphs, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, just so that you've got separate sentences, separate paragraphs, so you can identify them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, and then I'm going to be giving you some sentences to summarise each one so that you can put them in the right order.